Hello everybody, and welcome to this special all chakra practice today, all chakra Hatha practice. So typically the Hatha practices that I lead have always an arrival, intention setting, moving slowly into some easy stretching and salutations to warm up the body, and then finding some poses to work through various joint openings, strength and stretch. And today we will focus on all the chakras in the body. And interestingly, those chakras, if you're not one to believe in chakras, align with conventional medical areas. So we'll work through grounding poses, hip opening poses, twisting, heart opening, chest stretching, shoulders, neck, eyes even, and crown of the head. So settle in. You may notice that I'm sitting on a bolster. So I really recommend that you do sit elevated as we begin. It's most comfortable for the low back for most people. And you can use a rolled up blanket, you can use a cushion. If you have a bolster, great, or a block. So now we begin finding this easy Sukhasana pose, easy pose. Feel free to find another pose that's more comfortable for you. At the beginning of practice, starting with our palms down on the thighs to find that grounding. Closing the eyes to eliminate that sense of vision as I talk you through this opening sequence. If it's comfortable for you, closing the mouth and breathing through the nose only. Taking several moments right here to simply arrive on the mat, enter the practice, becoming aware of sounds that are all around you by going to each sound, identifying it without letting it distract you, and then moving to the next sound. As you move from sound to sound, slowly making your way closer into your mat, and eventually arriving at the sound of your own breath and taking a moment to be the witness to the sound of the inhalation and the sound of the exhalation. And then taking a moment to feel the temperature of the air on your skin, the places where your clothing contacts your skin. Notice if there are any smells where you are and experience them, and then let them go. And bring your awareness to Chitta Kasha, the place behind the closed eyes. This powerful place of visualization. Visualizing what you would like to bring to the mat today. And then finding a word or a few words, positive action words, maybe something like patience. Whatever words work for your intention today, repeat them to yourself mentally 3 times. And then visualize this intention as a seed that you have planted in both mind and body, and which your practice will nourish. And on this first day of spring, when I'm recording this, an especially powerful time to think of planting and nurturing. And taking a moment to just feel that grounding of the sit bones into the earth through your bolster or pillow cushion, whatever you're sitting on, your mat. And then with that grounding, staying connected through the sit bones, take a moment to simply change the position of your legs. If you're in this easy Sukhasana pose like I am, I'm bringing the leg that's farther out from my body in closer, and then just take another moment to close the eyes and feel what's changed in the body for you. We do tend to self-select the easiest position for our body to be in. So even though this is Sukhasana, it may very well feel slightly different than the first Sukhasana that you took. And now making a connection with all of our chakras, bring awareness to the base of your spine. This is Muladhara chakra, the grounding chakra, an energetic center of cultural belief. And the place that we find the support for everything that we do in our lives. And now bring your awareness up the spine a few inches to svasana chakra, the spine behind the pubic bone, and also including the hip area. And as you are here, begin to invite the water element into your practice, water element being associated with svasana chakra, and start to make small circles with the body. Imagining those sit bones are still rooted and the base of the spine is still grounded, but you're starting to bring that movement into the upper body. Every time you make a circle, make it slightly larger. And you may have noticed if you were actually watching me on the video that I had my eyes closed, and I find this quite a profound time in the practice to maintain that eye closure and go inward. So I invite you to do that if you're comfortable. Starting to make that circle larger. And then following the breath, and when that next inhale arrives, seamlessly changing the direction of that circle. This water element associated with the energy at svasana chakra, at the spine behind the pubic bone. It's an energy that helps us to welcome change into our life. See the positive side of that change and work with it. Basically allowing us to go with the flow. Starting to make that circle smaller until finally arriving in stillness in our original seated position. And then again, if your eyes are open, I invite you to close them and bring your awareness up the spine to a place behind your navel. Manipura chakra, this is your center of personal power and transformation. It is associated with the fire element, and we often are able to invite this fire element into our practice by doing twists or balancing core strength. Where you are right now, take a nice inhale, lift up through the spine, and then exhale to bring that right hand all the way over to that left hip, and take that left arm around behind the back, and inhale to lift the spine up, and exhale to move into an easy twist. And one more time, inhale to lift. Exhale to move into a twist. Inhaling to unwind the body back to center, and exhaling to now take that left hand over to the right hip, and right hand behind the body. Inhale to lift up through the spine, and exhale to move into that twist. One more time on that, inhaling to lift up through the spine, and exhaling to move into a twist. Inhaling to unwind back to center and placing those palms down on the thighs for grounding. And again, I invite you to close the eyes if they've opened up, and bring your awareness to the spine a few inches higher to a place behind the center of the chest. This is Anahat chakra, the heart chakra. It is our energetic center of love and compassion and forgiveness, ease. It is associated with the air element, and so it is thought in yoga that we invite opening of energy in Anahat chakra by doing back bends. Anything that we can open up through that chest area, and even actually the back, area of the back, upper back. So now taking a nice inhale, lift that rib cage up toward the ceiling and let the head easily lower back. Finding cow in the upper body, so this is a seated cow, Bitalasana. Exhale to flex through the spine, actively pulling the navel to spine, chin toward the chest. And then making this a little dynamic by repeating the sequence. Inhale up to seated cow. Exhaling, rounding to seated cat. And again, inhaling up, seated cow. Exhaling, seated cat. And then inhaling up to a nice neutral position. And again, keeping the eyes closed if that feels comfortable for you. And now bringing awareness up the spine to a place behind the center of the throat, Vishuddhi chakra. A center of creativity like svasana chakra. And this is the place where we find the energy to speak our truth. Take a nice inhale here, and then as you exhale, lowering that right ear toward that right shoulder and staying here for one nice full inhale and exhale, visualizing lifting that left ear toward the ceiling. Inhale to bring that head up to neutral, and exhaling to lower that left ear toward that left shoulder, staying here, and while you're breathing, imagining that you're lifting that right ear toward the ceiling. Inhaling up to center. And then with your eyes closed again, bringing your awareness to the center of the head, Akya chakra or Anya chakra, some people pronounce it. This is our center of intuition. And it is thought that we access the energy in this Akya chakra through things like meditation, but also physically doing very simple poses like opening the eyes and staring at the tip of the nose. So I invite you to open your eyes and stare at the tip of your nose for 3 full breaths. And then closing the eyes again. And bringing your awareness to the crown of the head, Saraswara chakra. And just to really make a strong connection with the position of Saraswara chakra, which is thought to be our energetic center of relationship with universal wisdom. Bring your thumbs to your ears or just ahead of your ears, and then reach your index fingers right up, straight over the ears to touch the tips of your index fingers together. And if you're reaching right up over the ears, this is the crown of your head. Take a moment there to just feel that physical connection with the crown of the head. And at the same time, imagine that crown of the head reaching toward the sky and right throughout, up to the atmosphere overhead and to that cosmic connection, if you believe in that. Release those hands down now, palms to the thighs again. And if you would like to, open the eyes. Bringing the soles of the feet together now, and the soles, which is where the place where we usually connect with the earth, taking a moment to feel that connection between the soles of your feet. Bring the hands just above the ankles on the shins and pull those heels a little closer to the body, finding a nice tall spine, and maybe pressing those forearms into the inner thighs. Awareness to that nice natural curve in your low back, and trying to maintain that as you inhale and reach the rib cage forward in this Baddha Konasana position, cobbler pose. And trying to maintain that little tiny arch in the low back so that we can really work through opening of the hips. If we round through the low back, we tend to lose that opening in the hips. So find that nice tall spine, reach the rib cage forward. And avoid that urge to kind of fold over the body. We're really just reaching forward here and maybe pressing with those lower arms into the inner thighs to find that hip opening and to find that cow in the upper body. Take one more inhale right here, and then exhale to find that nice neutral position. Bringing the knees together, and then swinging the legs around and making our way to a tabletop position. And I often mention this in class, and I have mentioned it in past videos, that it might be nice to rethink where your hands land on the mat. So if you come to a high kneel first, and just roll the shoulders back in that Tadasana position, palms forward, and notice that my hands are wider than my shoulders. This is called the carrying angle, and for many of us, this is actually a more comfortable position or width for a hand to be in on the mat. So if you bring those arms up so that they're still wider than shoulder width and flip the palms over, take a nice inhale right here, and then exhale, pull the navel to the spine, and slowly bring those hands in that wider position to the mat. This might be a much better position for you for your shoulders. If you've ever experienced shoulder injury in yoga, or actually any time in life, you might find this position, this wider position of the hands, more comfortable in tabletop, and especially when we come to a loaded position in downward facing dog. So just take a moment to settle into that. Knees can be hip width, or like the hands, they could be a little bit wider. Let's invite that cow and cat into our practice again. So inhale to cow and exhale to find cat. Inhale to cow, exhale to cat, and again inhaling cow and exhaling cat. Finding a neutral position, bring the big toes to touch and take the knees wide. Going into a child's pose, balasana, with the arms forward, known as Utthita Balasana. This is a powerful grounding pose, Muladhara chakra, as well as svasana chakra, because we have the hips externally rotated, lowering the forehead to the mat to really make that grounding connection. Take a couple of inhales here, and as you are here, I remind you that you should feel free to take this balasana at any time during the practice. An entire practice could be in balasana. Now let's inhale and return to our tabletop position. We'll tuck the toes in both feet and just walk out those feet. So if you can't see what I'm doing, I'm turning sideways right now. I'm just tucking the toes and walking out the feet to wake up the muscles, ligaments, tendons in the bottom of the feet. And then finding stillness in the feet with the toes tucked. Take a nice inhale right where you are. And then exhale to lift the knees up and push that rib cage toward your thighs. Let the head completely relax. First downward dog of the day. Take an easy walk out with the heels. Waking up those calf muscles slowly. And then finding stillness, pressing both heels toward the mat. Take a nice inhale, looking up between the hands. Exhale to walk the feet right up to the hands. Knees can stay bent for a moment with your hands connected to the mat. Let the head relax. Take another inhale and exhale right here. And then when the next inhale arrives, straighten out your legs without locking the knees. And if the hands lift off the mat, bring them to the shins so that you have some support for those muscles in the low back. So many people have experienced low back issues in their life, and it's really powerful to always be protecting that low back. As we come up out of this Uttanasana, forward fold, pull the navel to the spine. Imagine the feet are dragging away from each other. You could also, as you come up to standing, just walk your hands up your legs for support. One more inhale and exhale right here. And then inhale to come up. Navel to spine, feet dragging away from each other, hands circling up to touch overhead, and then exhaling, hands to the heart center. Touch the thumbs to the breastbone, close the eyes, feel the energy circulating in the body, and bring your awareness back to your grounding place. Now, soles of the feet to the mat. Maybe just wiggle them around and, evenly distribute your body weight over your feet. We'll move into some easy, slow classical sun salutations to open up through the hips and to build some heat in the body before we go into some poses on their own. So let's inhale, circle the arms up overhead, and exhale to fold over the body. Hands come to the mat and knees bend as needed. Inhale, stepping way back with your right foot, lowering that back knee and reaching the rib cage forward to find cow in the upper body. Now I'm mirroring you, so I'm doing the opposite foot to you, just so that you know if you're wondering. Inhale one more time, finding that cow in the upper body, reach the rib cage forward. And then exhale, stepping back to downward facing dog. Again, we'll stay in this downward dog for a few breaths to just settle in, walking the heels out. And then finding stillness and taking a nice inhale right here. Exhale to lower the knees down to the mat. Take an inhale right where you are, and then exhale to bend the elbows, reach the chest and the chin down to the mat, and then inhale to slither forward onto the belly. Hands are beside the rib cage, finding that cobra. And we'll stay here for a few breaths, and I really recommend closing the eyes here. Imagine that you are pressing your hands into the mat and dragging them back, and notice how that helps you to maybe find deeper cow in the upper body. Also an option here is to bring the hands and arms forward into Sphinx pose. And again, the same idea, pressing forearms in and pulling back to find that back bend. Take your time. Feel free to pause the video if you want to just take a little extra time to work through that. One more inhale here, and then exhale, downward facing dog, or feel free to take a tabletop position. Stay here for one full inhale and exhale. And then inhale to step that right foot forward between the hands, lower that back knee, find cow in the upper body. And then let's stay right here and just feel that opening in that left hip. Breathing through it, finding that kind of ease and relaxing. Checking in that you can see your toes in the front foot so that your foot is right underneath that knee. One more inhale, ribcage reaching forward. And then exhale, stepping that back foot into Uttanasana, forward fold. And again, protecting the low back. Navel pulls toward the spine, feet drag away from each other. Inhale, come all the way up, palms to touch. And exhale, hands to the heart center. Let's complete that classical sun salutation by doing the same thing on the, leading with the left leg. Inhale, circle arms up overhead. Exhale to fold over the body. Inhale, stepping way back with that left foot, lowering that knee and finding cow in the upper body. Head is relaxed. Maybe you need to come up to your fingertips, and if you have blocks at home, feel free to use them and put the hands up on the blocks so that you can maybe find a little more back bend, opening up the energy of that Anahata chakra, the heart chakra. Take one more inhale here. And then exhale, stepping back to downward facing dog. And again, because we're early on in the practice, maybe it would feel good to walk out those heels again. Another thing that I really like to do is to press the heels toward the mat. Then both knees very slightly. I'll turn sideways so you can see this. Bending both knees very slightly. And then I push my rib cage closer to my thighs and then straighten out the legs to have found a deeper downward facing dog. Feel free to pause the video and practice that a few times on your own. Take another inhale right here in this downward facing dog. And then exhale to bend both knees, lowering them to the mat, finding a tabletop position. Inhale right here. And then exhale, bending the elbows, reaching the chest and chin down to the mat. And then inhaling to slither forward to the belly and finding that Bhujangasana, Cobra pose, or Sphinx pose. Stay here for a nice inhale and exhale. Feel free to close the eyes. One more inhale right here. And then exhale back, downward facing dog. Stay here for a nice inhale and exhale. And then inhaling that left foot forward between the hands, lower the back knee, find cow in the upper body. And again, we'll stay here for a moment to find ease in the front of that right hip. So if you sit in your typical day in your office, or maybe you're even sitting at home right now doing work from home as we all are, you might find that these muscles shorten and that this stretch feels really yummy. Take one more inhale. And then exhale to step that back foot in underneath the hip. And then inhale to come all the way up to standing. And exhale, hands to the heart center. Nice. The sun salutations are so beautiful for building some heat in the body. The classical sun salutation and Surya A and B have no twisting in them, and I feel that today when we're doing an all chakra practice, it would be so nice to invite a twist into that. So we'll do a little variation now. Inhale, circle arms up overhead. Exhale to fold over the body. Inhale to step way back with that right foot, lower the back knee and find cow in the upper body. Now plant your right hand on the mat and inhale, open that left arm to the side and up toward the ceiling so you're finding that twist in the body. And to really actively find this twist, visualize that you're pressing that hand into the mat and pulling away from that front foot to find a little more twist. One more inhale right here. And then exhale to release that hand back down to the mat. Inhale to find that cow in the upper body again. And then exhale back. Downward facing dog. Take a nice inhale here. Exhale to lower the knees to the mat. Take another inhale. Exhale, bend the elbows, reach chest and chin to the mat, Ashtasana. Inhale to slither forward onto the belly, find Cobra. And then let's exhale back to downward facing dog again. Inhale to step forward with that right foot between the hands, lower the back knee, find cow in the upper body. Planting that left hand now down on the mat and inhaling, opening to your right. And stay here, awareness of that hand on the mat. Imagine it's pushing into the mat and pulling away from that foot to find a little more twist. Exhale to release that hand down. Inhale to find that cow in the upper body again. And then exhale, back foot steps up to the front into that forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale to circle all the way up, palms to touch. And exhale, hands to the heart center. Again, to complete this one on the left side. Inhale, circle up. Exhale, fold over the body. Inhale, left foot steps way back. Lower the knee, find cow in the upper body. Planting that left hand again on the mat. Inhale and open to the twist. Exhale to release, hand back down to the mat. Inhale to find that cow in the upper body. Exhaling back, downward facing dog. Taking a nice inhale here. Exhale to lower the knees. Stay right here for another inhale. Exhale to bend the elbows and let the chest and chin reach the mat, Ashtasana. Inhale to the belly, finding Cobra or Sphinx. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot stepping forward between the hands, lower that back knee, find cow in the upper body. Planting that right hand again firmly on the mat. Inhale, open to the side for that twist. Exhale to release that hand back down. Inhale to find that cow in the upper body. Exhale to step that back foot into Uttanasana. Inhale to circle all the way up, palms to touch. And exhale, hands to the heart center. Since I love doing salutations in groups of 3, we'll do one more round of classical sun salutation. We will remove the twist this time and we'll just do a traditional classical sun salutation, a move on every breath. And that actually includes a breath retention for the knee, chest, and chin drop. So let's inhale, circle up. Exhale to fold over the body. Inhale, stepping way back, right foot, lower the knee, find cow in the upper body. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Retain the breath, lower knees, chest, and chin in one smooth move, slithering forward to the belly. Inhale, Cobra or Sphinx. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps forward between the hands, lower the knee, cow in the upper body. Exhaling, stepping into Uttanasana. Inhale, circle all the way up, palms to touch. Exhale, hands to the heart center. Inhale, circling all the way up. Exhaling, folding over the body. Inhale, left foot steps way back, lower the knee, find cow in the upper body. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Retain the breath as you lower knees, chest, and chin. Ashtasana. Inhale to Cobra. Exhale back, down dog. Inhale, left foot stepping forward between the hands, lower the back knee, find cow in the upper body. Exhaling to step into Uttanasana. Inhale to come all the way up, palms to touch. And exhale, hands to the heart center. Take a moment, close the eyes, and then allow your hands and arms to come down beside you in Tadasana. Mountain pose, closing the eyes, feeling that earth connection, soles of the feet to your mat. If you feel like your body weight is more weighted into one foot, just shift around. Find that place where you feel like your body weight is equally distributed over both feet. Shoulders are in something we call external rotation when the palms are facing forward. And given that we're often looking at our phones or doing other things that bring our shoulders into internal rotation, this mountain pose, as simple as it seems, is so powerful for our body, and particularly for the energy at Anahata chakra, at the spine behind the center of the chest. So any chest opening, any shoulder opening is thought to open up the energy in Anahata chakra. Also a very grounding pose, creating an energetic bridge between Muladhara chakra, our root chakra, and Anahata chakra. Allowing us to bring a sense of compassion to our sense of community, a sense of forgiveness to our sense of community. Feel free to keep the eyes closed as we move into a few more poses, or to open them if you would feel better to see exactly what I'm describing. Let's inhale the arms forward and up overhead, keeping the hands shoulder width apart, and exhale to bend into Uttanasana, chair pose. And if you actually find this pose quite awkward, and it is called awkward pose sometimes, I encourage you to take the feet wider apart. All of us have different formations in the hip joint, and for many of us, it's more comfortable for us truly from a skeletal point of view to take the feet wider and to be able to sit a little bit lower. And if you think about it, that's a little more functional in our lives for having to sit in important places. Inhale, find buoyancy in the arms. Exhale, see if you can sit a little bit more. Stay with this for 3 breaths. Super grounding pose, connecting us with the energy at Muladhara chakra. Also works through the hips, through the heart. Svasana chakra, Anahata chakra. Inhale to come all the way up, bring the hands to the heart center. Beautiful. Now walk the feet a little bit closer together. The next pose that we do will be working as well through Muladhara chakra, grounding pose, but inviting some energetic opening through the hips. So working through the energy at Svasana chakra, at the spine behind the pubic bone. This is tree pose, one of my favorite poses, and I think we could actually do this pose every day to really improve our sense of balance and our core strength. So with hands at the heart center, shift the body weight to your left leg, bend the right knee and open it to the side. Bring that heel over that opposite ankle to just settle into that narrower base of support. And then follow your breath for a moment right here, crown of the head reaching toward the ceiling. And then when you want to, on an inhale, bring the foot up to the calf muscle or the inner thigh. Talk about this a lot. As soon as your foot makes a connection with that muscle, push into the muscle and resist the push with the muscle. So this place right here, this contact point between your foot and that inner thigh or calf muscle is like your stability point. You can also pull the navel toward the spine, visualize the side body pulling in toward the center, the shoulder blades squeezing, but that foot to muscle connection is super powerful. Stay here breathing. Gaze is focused on something steady, and hopefully I'll stay steady for you if you're watching me on this video right now. Inhale, arms up to full expression of tree pose. Stay with it, and if you would like to really challenge the balance and also kind of work through that energy at Vishuddhi chakra, you could lower that right ear toward your right shoulder, bring it back up to center, and lower left ear to the left shoulder and bring it up center. And then even working more through Vishuddhi chakra, turn the whole head to look to your right and then bring it back center and turn that whole head to the left and then bring it back center. Inhale to reach the heart forward. Exhale to bring the hands to the heart center. Inhale to release that knee forward, and exhale to return that foot to the earth. Maybe it would feel good to just walk it out. This is a way of inviting the water element into the practice after a pose to just kind of find ease and movement in the body. And then let's return to hands at the heart center. Shift the body weight to your right leg this time, opening up through that bent left leg. Slide that heel over that opposite ankle. Find your grounding right here. Find the place that you're comfortable gazing at, stillness. And then when you're ready on an inhale, bring that foot up to the calf muscle or to the inner thigh. And again, making that super strong connection, foot to muscle, muscle to foot. Staying with this, also just imagining that everything is pulling toward the center line of your body. So navel to spine, side body to center, shoulder blades toward the spine. Stay with this, trust your grounding, trust your foundation. And then when you're ready, inhale, arms up, full expression of tree. Or if you would prefer, you could bring the arms down to parallel and kind of pull those thumbs back to get a little more heart opening, whatever feels best for you. I actually quite enjoy this one where I have the arms parallel to the floor and palms up, pulling the thumbs back. And again, bringing that energy up to Vishuddhi chakra at the spine behind the throat. Taking a nice inhale and then exhaling, lowering that left ear toward that left shoulder. Inhaling up to center. Exhaling, right ear toward the right shoulder. Inhaling up to center. Take a nice inhale right here and then exhale to turn the whole head to the left, doing it slowly and moving the eyes from point to point. And then inhaling back to center. And exhaling, turning that whole head to your right. And then inhaling back to center. And exhaling, bringing those hands to the heart center. And then release that knee forward. And placing that foot back down on the earth. Take a moment right here. And then inhale, circle the arms up overhead. And exhale to fold over the body. Plant the hands and step way back with your right foot and have a look at where it lands. Take a really wide stance there. Check in that your front foot is underneath the knee. And then lower that back foot down so that you have the middle of the foot in line with that front heel. Take a moment to feel the grounding energy. This is part of an all chakra practice, is to always be kind of going through the body and finding out what those energetic centers are doing at any given moment. So right now our soles of the feet are really connected to the earth. Imagine that rooting into the earth and that the feet are dragging toward each other, and feel that grounding earth energy coming up the body like an isometric contraction around the insides of the legs there. And with that strong earth foundation, inhale to float up, turning your torso, your chest toward the side of that mat, and making warrior two with the arms that come parallel to the floor. And then the head can turn and gaze out over the front of that front hand. Powerful pose. We're grounded to the earth. We're externally rotated through that front hip, working through the energy at svasana chakra. We're finding cow in the upper body, working through the energy at anahata chakra. We have the head turned toward the front of our mat, working through the energy in Vishuddhi chakra. We can access a little bit of energy through Manipura chakra, our center of personal power, by going into reverse warrior. Inhaling that front arm back, and maybe taking that back arm around the waist if it would feel good. Just opening up through that side body, through that torso area. Stay here, breathing. Make sure you're staying in that lunge, working through the energy in that front hip, the strength in those thighs. Powerful warrior pose connected to that energy of the warrior, finding that sense of personal power here. Another inhale and exhale right here. And then inhale to return to your warrior two. Nice, settling into this. When the next exhale arrives, windmill those hands down, lifting that back heel up off the mat. And now stepping that foot back and making your way to a child's pose. Big toes touch, knees go wide. Forehead comes to the mat. Just take a few breaths there in this very grounding pose. Connect to that power of the strong foundation. With your hips in external rotation now, connect with that energy of being able to go with the flow, to welcome change into your life. This is also svasana chakra, a powerful place to find energy for your most important relationships. And as we find ourselves now in social distancing and self-isolation, this is when we most need to try and make that at least mental connection to our important relationships, to stay in touch with people, to have compassion for people. Let's inhale and bring ourselves to a tabletop position. From that tabletop position, tucking the toes. When the next exhale arrives in the body, pressing up and back to downward facing dog. Follow the breath, and when the next inhale arrives, step forward with that right foot, finding that lunge position, and then laying that back foot down in line, so the middle of that back foot is in line with that front heel. And take a moment here to really settle in to finding this foundation. So that front foot needs to be underneath the knee. Feel the connection of the soles of your feet to the earth, and then imagine them rooting into the mat and the feet dragging toward each other. You'll feel that isometric contraction on the insides of the legs, so powerful. Keep that isometric contraction happening as you inhale and float up to warrior two. Because of your feet and the position they're in, your body, your torso will want to turn to face the side of your mat, and that is exactly, basically the definition of warrior two. It's because that front hip is in external rotation. Now inhale, lift those arms up parallel to the floor. And if you feel comfortable to sink into that lunge, if you maybe lost a little bit of that lunge, please do. Stay right here. Feel that connection between the earth and your feet. Feel that energetic opening through that front hip, waking up the energy in svasana chakra. Finding cow in the upper body to open up through the heart. The head is turned again to remind you that we're working through that energy at Vishuddha chakra. And now stepping into the power, into the energy at Manipura chakra, inhale that front arm back to reverse warrior. And just stay here. It might be comfortable for you to bring that back arm around the waist. Stay with this. Stay with the breath. Stay in the lunge to tap into your power. Breathe. Another inhale right here. And then exhale to windmill down. Let that back heel come up and off the mat. And then sliding that front foot back to that tabletop position again. And just making a little easy move, inviting that water element into this practice. Then coming up to the fingertips. And taking a moment to feel really strong in that energy of the fingertips dragging toward each other. As those fingertips drag toward each other, we create a very strong arch in the hand here to support us. And if you think about it, we have arches in our feet that strongly support us as we're standing. So keep the energy in those fingers pulling toward each other. Keep the hips in their position right over the knees, and then walk those hands on those fingertips as far forward as you can go. And when you've gone as far as you can without moving the hips forward, energize the arms toward the ceiling. Take a nice inhale, and then exhale to lower the forehead down to the mat. This pose is called Ashtasana, heart-opening pose. And to find that heart-opening element, we need to keep a lot of energy in the fingertips and the arms reaching upward. Stay here for 3 more breaths. And then releasing, coming up of the body, walking the hands back. You can come to the palms of the hands. And then making our way all the way down onto the mat, belly onto the mat, forehead to the mat, arms alongside the body with the palms down and the thumbs pointing away. This allows us to open up through the shoulders. And then turn your head to your right. so that the left side of your face is relaxing on the mat. Opening up the energy and Vishuddhi chakra at the spine behind the throat. Follow your breath, and when the next exhale arrives, turn your head a little bit more in that same direction. Accessing that range of motion in the neck, but with the help of the earth, making a strong connection between the energy at Muladhara chakra, our grounding supportive chakra, with the energy at Vishuddhi chakra, which allows us to find the energy to speak our truth. One more inhale and exhale right here. And then inhaling to bring that forehead back to the mat. And exhaling to turn the head in the opposite direction now. So the right side of your face is resting on the mat. Settle into this position, and then when it's comfortable for you and you think you can go a little deeper, follow an exhale to move the head a little bit more in that same direction. And then relax there and visualize the earth supporting you and increasing this range of motion through the neck. Inhaling to unwind, bring the forehead back to the mat. Bring the hands beside you at the rib cage. Pull the navel to the spine and actively press yourself back to child's pose. Making our way through that grounding pose again. Just for a breath or two, just as a transition. And then inhaling to come up to a kneeling position. Now we're working our way toward rabbit pose. A pose that we don't actually do that often, but it is one that connects us with that energy at Saraswara chakra. If you have any neck issues at all and feel uncomfortable in that kind of loaded position, just stay where you are as we do that, and just slowly drop the ears from side to side, or turning the whole head, or chin to chest and back up. If you're comfortable with rabbit pose, I will turn sideways for a moment so that you can see. If for any reason kneeling is not comfortable, I encourage you to take a bolster if you have one, or a rolled up blanket or a cushion, and place it between your heels and your hips, because this will open up the ankle at the knees and just take a little pressure off the knees. So once you've found a comfortable kneeling position for you, I'll show you this once and then I'll talk you through it. So hands interlaced, fingers interlaced behind, inhaling up nice and high. You could also just place your hands at your heels. That would be traditional rabbit pose. Exhale to fold the body, tuck the chin, and bring the crown of the head right to the mat. And if you're comfortable, you could bring those arms up and over, or you could just leave your hands at your heels. But the crown of the head is touching. So again, I will guide you through that. Sometimes it is helpful to see what we're doing before we do it. So hands at the heels or interlaced fingers. Inhale to lift up through the body. Exhale to pull the navel to spine and begin the forward fold. Tuck the chin to the chest. The crown of the head connects with the mat. The arms can come up and over if you want to, or the hands can remain at the heels. This is rabbit pose. And this is a powerful way to connect to the energy at Saraswara chakra. Stay in this pose for 5 breaths. This is probably also a good time for me to mention that if you have any eye issues like glaucoma or anything like that, it's really not recommended to be in that head below heart position. So again, that might be another reason to stay up in the kneeling and just work through range of motion in a nice, easy way through the neck. And if you would like to make that connection to Saraswara chakra, you could again take the thumbs to the ears and fingertips to touch overhead. If you're in rabbit pose, inhaling to come up and out of it. And now we'll do one more seated pose before we make our way onto the back. A nice energetic way to access the energy in Manipura chakra. Beginning with the legs straight out and maybe just pulling the glutes away from the sit bones to feel that really grounding place. Bending that right knee and interlacing the fingers around the shins, hugging in, and then bringing that foot up and over to make a really strong connection to your mat. And now finding that nice tall spine by pulling in on those shins, releasing that right hand behind you to the base of the spine, and you can put fingertips or palms down so the arm can support the back. Inhale the opposite arm up. And exhale to cross over that bent knee or to hug it. And then working through the twist very slowly. Inhaling to lift. Exhale to move into the twist. Inhaling to lift. Exhaling to twist. 3 more breaths trying to work through the lift and the twist. And maybe turning that head if that would feel comfortable too. Imagining that right shoulder is pulling down and away from that right ear. After that third exhalation, inhaling to unwind and come back to center. And maybe a counter pose would feel good here. Inhale to unwind to center again. And then placing that foot back down, leg down on the mat. Take a moment right here. Just place the hands beside your hips on the mat. Energetically press in and away from the hips to find that nice tall spine. Dandasana, sneaking a little Dandasana pose in here. And now bending that left knee, interlacing the fingers the awkward way around that shin, hugging in nice and tall. Make sure you find that nice hug to find the tall spine. And then bring that foot up and over to the other side of that leg, making sure you have that grounded connection with the mat. And then releasing that left hand behind to the base of the spine, palm or fingertips, using that arm to support the spine. Inhale that opposite arm up. Exhale to cross over that leg or to hug that leg. And then starting to work on the twist. Inhaling to lift, exhaling to twist. Work with the breath on this. Maybe close the eyes. Inhaling to lift, exhaling to twist. Visualizing that twist really happening in the waist over top of your steady pelvis. 3 more breath cycles here, and maybe inviting that twist into the neck if you'd like to turn the head in that same direction. And imagining that you're trying to bring that left shoulder down and away from that left ear. After that third exhalation, inhaling to unwind. And exhaling to do a counter twist the other way. Inhaling back to center. And then hugging both knees in for a nice tall spine. Closing the eyes right where you are, and one more time. Opening the eyes and staring at the tip of the nose for 3 full breaths. Closing the eyes and making your way into that Shavasana position. Making your way onto your back, walking the shoulders away from the ears, arms relaxed, palms up, legs slightly separated, feet falling away from the midline. Although I will say right now, if there's anything else your body needs, a rocking from side to side. Some people really enjoy shoulder stand before the end of practice and inversion. Or again, if you're at home and you would like to vary your shavasana, snuggle up against the wall and bring the legs up. I can kind of demonstrate here, as if your legs are resting on the wall there. So pause the video and move over to the wall. This is Viparita Karani. Or just taking traditional shavasana. Finding heaviness in the whole body. Stillness in the whole body. So heavy that if I asked you to wiggle your pinky finger, it would not happen. Bring your awareness to Chitakasha, the space behind the closed eyes. Be the witness to any manifestations of the unconscious mind. They may be there in the form of colors, patterns, or symbols. Simply be the witness. And then return to the intention you set at the beginning of this practice. Repeat it to yourself mentally 3 times. And trust that if you can visualize it, you have started creating it. Now bring your awareness to the base of your spine, Muladhara chakra. Still resting in Shavasana, but with your awareness at Muladhara chakra. Associated with the color red, your place of grounding and cultural belief. The place where you found the foundation to be supported in everything you do. Bring your awareness up the spine a few inches to a place behind the pubic bone, svasana chakra, associated with the color orange. A center of creativity and the place where you find the energy for your most important relationships. And also a center of abundance consciousness. Bring your awareness up the spine a few more inches to a place behind the navel, Manipura chakra. This is your center of personal power and transformation. It is associated with the color yellow. Now bring your awareness up the spine a few more inches to a place behind the center of the chest, Anahat chakra, associated with the color green. This is our energetic center of love, compassion, forgiveness, balance, and ease. Bring your awareness up the spine a few more inches to Vishuddhi chakra, the spine behind the center of the throat. This is associated with the color blue. It is a place where you find the energy to speak your truth and also a center of creativity. Bring your awareness up to the center of the head, Akya chakra. It's our center of intuition. And it is associated with the color indigo. And now bringing your awareness to the crown of the head and beyond, Saraswara chakra. This is the place where we connect with universal wisdom. It is associated with the color violet. And now bringing your awareness to the eyebrow center and visualizing a tiny, brilliant flame at that eyebrow center. Bring all of your awareness to that flame. Total awareness of the flame. Focusing so intently that you become the flame. back to your breath by deepening it. Awareness to your body by wiggling the fingers and the toes. Inhale to take a nice big stretch. And then exhaling, bending the knees and rolling off to one side, being sure to support the head. Making your way to a seated position, whatever is most comfortable for you. And as we complete our practice, now resting hands with palms up to welcome all the positive energy in the spaces where we have been practicing. And to imagine that that space and that energy is connected amongst all of us. Closing the eyes one final time and visualizing an abundance of strength and resilience. Love and compassion, forgiveness, pouring into those open palms and spreading to every cell in your body. And then bringing those palms together at the heart center, bowing inward. Namaste. And if you'd like to stay for another moment, I will choose a goddess card for all of us. Today's card is Bossed, Independent. Your independence is a foundation for your strength and success. Wow, that seems so powerful right now, given that we're all being forced in some way to be independent and yet trying to make connections with each other to stay strong and to support each other.